Hey, you're 11, I'm back. You know what I thought with that last video as we were working through those? Geez, these algebraic fractions, they're a bit easy. I thought we'd do a few more of these because it's something that needs a bit of work. Well, those examples weren't so hard. That's because I'd forgot to turn over the page and realise that, here's some more exciting things. So, let's have a look at adding and subtracting, because when we deal with fractions, adding and subtracting tends to be harder. So, what will we have a look at? I quite like the idea of e. Let's have a look at 9e here. So 9e, x over a squared minus b squared, difference two squares, I see that already, minus x over a squared plus ab, not a difference of two squares, but going to be a common factor. Right, we're going to factorise first so we can see what happens. We don't have a common denominator. And rather than just blindly going in and multiplying everything by every other denominator, we're going to try to make our lives a little easier if we can. So I've got x over a plus b, a minus b, minus x over a outside of a plus b. So now I'm looking for the lowest common denominator. Now it's going to need to have, I'm going to need to multiply this side by a, top and bottom, and this side by a minus b, top and bottom. My lowest common denominator is going to be a outside of a plus b, outside of a minus b. Okay, so that looks like this. I have ax, now we're going to have a common denominator, minus x outside of, what did I say? This is going to be a minus b, all over a plus b, a minus b. Okay, so we've got a common denominator. I multiplied top and bottom here by a, top and bottom here by a minus b. Alright, this is the a minus b, and we can join these things together. Now, we need to, I suppose, tidy this up a little bit. And I get ax minus ax plus bx all over a plus b, a minus b. My ax's, they cancel out, and I get bx over a plus b, a minus b. Right, can I do more there? Well, the bottom is fully factorised, that's nice, and I don't have any of those factors in the numerator, so there's not going to be any cancelling. I could expand this out and get a cubed minus ab squared. I don't think that's better. Okay, so that's the answer to 9e, but there's a bit of work in these, right? You can see why people sort of look at them and maybe throw their hands up in the air sometimes because they haven't put the work in to become acquainted with them, to become comfortable with what you have to do with these. Generally, what you need to do, factorise common denominators if you're adding or subtracting, combine those things, maybe a bit of expanding, maybe a bit of cancelling, but factorising really is important when we're doing fractions. Right, so what are we going to look at next? I think 10a just looks so interesting. I can't see what the answer is going to be. 10a, but doesn't it look interesting? 10a is b minus a over a minus b. How do we simplify that? b minus a over a minus b. Is that the whole question? Simplify. Well, I am stumped. What are we going to do? I guess we could, right, check this out. If I divide the top line by -1, if I take a negative out of that, I get negative b plus a over a minus b, which is, right, I can just swap that around, negative outside of bracket a minus b over a minus b. Look at that. Make it a common factor that cancels out. I get -1. Oh, that's intriguing. I didn't see that was going to be there. I didn't even see that as an obvious answer. That is certainly more simple. Right, that is certainly simplified. So there you go. You know that the nature of simplifying these things is always that you need to cancel. Right, you need to factorise and cancel. Right, so we needed to find a way there to factorise. What have we got here? More of those 10s? No, they look okay to me. Let's have a look at 11. Study the worked exercise on compound fractions and then simplify. Let's choose something something full of wonder and promise. H. No, let's go J, right? Let's go the whole hog here. It's going to take a little while, but you know, you have nothing better to do than watch these videos. 11J. You don't have to watch these videos. We have 3 over x plus 2. It's going to take me a while to write out. 3 over x plus 2 minus 2 over x plus 1. Now that is all over 5 over x plus 2. Five over x plus 2 minus 4 over x plus 1. Wow, look at all this stuff. Now, the way that we deal with these things, I don't want fractions over fractions. I mean, we could evaluate those subtractions, right, the top and bottom. I could evaluate the numerator and the denominator, and then divide by or multiply by the reciprocal. What we're going to do, though, is we are going to find, I've got 4 fractions here. I'm going to multiply everything by the lowest common denominator, which is going to be x plus 2, x plus 1. So if I multiply this fraction by x plus 2, x plus 1, right, I'm going to multiply all of these things, top and bottom equally. If I multiply this fraction by x plus 2, x plus 1, the x plus 2's cancel, and I get 3 outside of x plus 1. Now, I multiply this here by x plus 2, x plus 1, the x plus 1's cancel. I get minus 2 outside of x plus 2. That's my new numerator. My denominator, right, we can cancel all those denominators because I'm going to have everything with the same, all of those fractions are essentially going to have the same denominators now. Because we're multiplying hang on. Sorry, there's a bit of pause. Right, we're going to multiply the top and bottom by the same thing. I'm multiplying the top by x plus 2, x plus 1, the bottom of this fraction by x plus 2, x plus 1, but not the top and bottom of each of these little fractions. Right, I'm not doing it 8 times, I'm doing it 4 times, sort of, or kind of twice. And we are going to then be able to say that, essentially then we're going to multiply the whole shebang by that common denominator and cancel those denominators out. Right, so this top line, the bottom line here, we're going to multiply this by x plus 1, x plus 2. The x plus 2's cancel and I get 5 outside of x plus 1. And then this, the x plus 1's cancel and I get minus 4 outside of x plus 2. Okay, you probably just sort of need to learn this technique where you got these compound fractions, multiply everything by the common denominator, by the lowest common denominator. We will want to expand some brackets here. All right, but from here I think things are starting to look pretty okay. 3x plus 3 minus 2x minus 4 all over 5x plus 5 minus 4x minus 8 equals x minus 1 at the top over x minus 3 on the bottom. And there's nothing more to be done there. Okay, so it certainly goes from something quite complicated. That's pretty neat. Okay, there's some work there. You don't want to cramp your work here. You want to be able to read what's going on. Now, my writing is not fantastic, but you need to keep an eye on this sort of stuff. Righto. Algebraic fractions. If you are good at them, you'll be good at this topic. You'll be good at algebra. Algebraic fractions. Learn them, practice them. Really, please, I can't stress this enough. Get good at algebraic fractions. You'll impress people with your mathematical skills and abilities. Okay.